Hi there, thank you for joining me on Camera Then Coffee, where we talk about the most deserving cameras. And today we are doing a specs comparison of the brand new Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II and the all-rounder XS10. Also, if you have been planning to buy Fujifilm X-T30, do consider watching my last video where we did a head-to-head comparison of X-T30 and X-T30 Mark II. Cool, let's start the video. So the Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II came into this world 2 days back at the same price of Fujifilm X-T30, which is $100 cheaper than XS10. Now if we get inside the camera, the first major difference that we notice is the image stabilization, where on one hand we get a 5-axis in-body image stabilization in XS10. On X-T30 Mark II we'll have to rely on the optical image stabilization offered by the attached lenses. And the moment we look at the other internal specs, they look quite similar. Both cameras houses the same 4th generation 26.1 megapixel APS-C sensor, which delivers stunning images. When looking at the ISO, both the cameras have 160-12-800 ISO, giving a good low light performance. What makes the low light performance even better is their ability to use face detection autofocus in low light levels of -7 EV. And then both the cameras can deliver images in JPEG as well as 14-bit RAW format. Talking about the autofocus, both the camera inherits the same high-speed autofocus of the flagship X-T4. It's an intelligent hybrid autofocus with 425 face detection points that tracks the subject across the frame. And here are a few other important specs that are identical in both the cameras. Cool then. Now as soon as we move out of the body, there are a lot of differences. Starting with the dimension and weight, Mark II inherits the same lightweight and compact body of X-T30 and is quite lighter than XS10. I think it's that larger grip on XS10 that adds a lot to the weight. Looking at the top, X-T30 Mark II carries retro vibes thanks to the shutter speed dial, exposure compensation dial and the drive dial. Whereas the XS10 has a sleek DSLR kind of body. There is just a customizable function dial on the left and shooting mode dial on the right. But not to forget, XS10 has a one-touch ISO button and a movie record button as well. Whereas on X-T30 Mark II, you have to be in a movie shooting mode and then use the shutter button to start recording a video. One more difference is in the screen. The new Mark II has a 3-inch tilting touchscreen with 1.62 million dots. Whereas the XS10 has a 3-inch fully articulated screen with 1.04 million dots. Both the cameras have the same battery, but the new Mark II delivers more shots and also has a slightly better video battery life. And yes, both the cameras allow in-camera charging via USB. And sadly, both the cameras are not water sealed. When we see the video specs, it looks like both the cameras move hand in hand. They can record DCI and UHD 4K up to 30 FPS, but with a recording limit of 30 minutes. And both the cameras can record Full HD video up to 240 frames with a recording limit of 3 minutes. Now, while both the cameras can record in F-Log 8-bit internally, they can do the same 10-bit externally. And both the cameras can be used as a webcam or for live streaming. And lastly, when we look at the ports, it's the same story. But there is one point to notice. In XS10, you get a headphone adapter included in the box. But Fuji hasn't specified if the adapter will be available with X-T30 Mark II. Long story short, after a detailed overview, I think there are 3 reasons to buy Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II over XS10. It has the lightweight and compact body, it has the retro vibes thanks to the dials, and it has a slightly better battery life. Whereas on the flip side, the good reasons to buy Fuji XS10 over X-T30 Mark II is the in-body image stabilization, larger grip, sleek DSLR kind of minimal body, and the fully articulated touchscreen. That's it. If the video was helpful, do support me by subscribing. It will mean a lot.